Hey guys, how you doing? This is Benjamin with Benjamin Exotics. In this video today, we'll be talking about a really complicated yet simple subject of whether or not pine bedding is bad for your snakes. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to try to, this is going to be more of a tough video because this is a subject that I have to be very careful on and make sure I don't give the wrong information out. But, so if I seem a little bit tougher, a little bit not as open and friendly as I am in most videos, then, I apologize in advance for that, but that's just how things sometimes have to go. So, we'll talk about in this video, is pine bedding bad for your snakes? Is it like people say that where we'll kill them in a few weeks, where it was just bad for the respiratory infections, and all this other stuff? Okay, straight up, pine bedding, yes. Now, this is this is two-sided. Straight up pine bedding, just chopped off from a tree, just grinded through a mill, nothing's done to it. Yes, straight up pine bedding is bad. It will give your snakes some sort of problems, whether it's respiratory, whether it's, whatever. It will give your snakes problems if it's straight out of the, mill. Now, what I used for 3 years and what I had no problems with personally is taking, your snake, or taking the bedding. You get it from, most of the time, you get it from your farm stores and stuff. They use it for, I believe they said when I got it, they were using it for horses, like in the stalls or something. You get it in big bags for pretty cheap, like $5 or $6 a bag, really inexpensive and great, compacted and everything. But they kiln dried it, which means kiln dried it. What did I just say? They kiln dried it, which means that they put it into a kiln, heated it up, and dried all the oils out of it, so it had no bad oils for your snake, or for horses, I guess. I guess horses' feet could get, their hooves could get bad problems from the straight up pine as well. I kept my snakes, and I have other people that have been keeping ball pythons for 20 years that have kept them on this bedding and had no problems. However, this is the big however. Don't turn off the video right now and just say, okay, pine, if it's kiln dried, it's good for your snakes. No. However, the same people that have used that have snakes, like boa constrictors and sand boas, that when you put them in pine, have really bad reactions to the pine, where they've showed me before when they tried it out, when they were experimenting, where their vents will get all kinds of caked stuff on them, where they have almost an allergic reaction to pine. Now, personally, they've never had ball pythons or any species of python do that, but boa species and stuff like that and corn snakes seem to be very, very, very allergic and have really bad reactions, especially at their vent, with caked matter getting put on there with pine. So, if we're answering the question, is pine bedding bad for snakes in general, I would say yes. If it's not treated and if it's just any random species of snake, then yes. But I don't know. When we were looking at the actual facts, you have people that have been breeding ball pythons for 20 plus years, some local breeders around here, and the only thing they use for their ball pythons, babies or adults, is pine. And the reticulated pythons, the only thing they use is pine. But then those same breeders have told me and showed me that if you put a boa constrictor or a sand boa in pine bedding, that they have bad reactions to it. So it's kind of a really weird topic. Normally you say, is aspen bedding bad for snakes? No, it's not bad for them. You can use it with fine. You just have to look at the pros and cons of the bedding. Same thing. Ooh, he is really a little bit jumpy today. Or you can look at like cypress mulch. You say, yes, it's good for snakes as long as it's used correctly. And then, cedar. No, you never use cedar. It'll kill your snakes. But pine bedding is kind of an iffy subject. In my opinion, I would stay away from it, just because you can have some bad problems, but it is overall cheaper than aspen, and if you know that you're using it and you're not having any problems, I would say there's no reason to not keep using it. But in my opinion, don't use it on boas. Anytime I've seen them or somebody use it on boas, they always have problems, not even with the scales, but with their vent and with their mouth, with caked matter getting on it because they're allergic to it. Don't ever use it on any kind of colubrids like corn snakes. In my opinion, and from what I've seen, it's bad for those snakes, but maybe pythons, because I've seen it used for reticulated pythons, Burmese pythons, ball pythons, all kinds of species of pythons, Calabar burrowing pythons, and they had no reaction to it. It's almost like pythons don't have a bad reaction, but boas and corn snakes and colubrids do. I don't know, it's kind of a weird subject. I've even seen people keep tegus and stuff on it, and they had no problems with it, but I don't know. For anybody wondering, in my opinion, I would say no, do not keep any snake on pine. It won't kill them, and I did it for ball pythons for 3+ years, but I've had other people with boas and corn snakes and stuff have really bad experience with it. So, if I had to tell you guys definitively, I would say no. Don't use pine, use aspen. Might be a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it's safer. But then again, there also is the fact of many people that I know use pine, and it works for their ball pythons, just not for any other species. So, I don't know. Overall, you guys can, look at the information in this video and make your own decision. This is a very complicated and touchy subject that is going out there. It's not like there's not a definitive answer. Like, I could say if it was cedar bedding, I would straight up tell you guys don't use it for any species of snake, let alone any species of reptile, because cedar bedding will straight up kill your snake. But pine bedding isn't that way. It can really screw up some species, but other species like the ball pythons and reticulated pythons especially don't really seem to have any problems with it. So, I don't know. You guys make your own decision. I would tend to stay away from it. But I hope you guys did benefit from this video. It's kind of, this is one of the videos I really couldn't beat around the bush, because this could kill some people's snakes. So, overall, I would say don't use it, but if you are using it and you're having success with it, I would say don't stop using it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.